Hello, everybody. My name is Donna Moore Powers. You can call me Professor Powers, and I am your instructor in your summer session, human biology class, completely online. So I did want to take a few minutes to walk you through the course so you felt confident when it's time to truly start. I don't know if you know this, but we are able to open our Brightspace courses the Wednesday before the actual start of the class. So kind of like when you need to go buy something new, maybe a new phone or checking out an apartment to rent, you want to check it out before you commit. So take a look at the course and the assignments and the pace and make sure this is a good fit for you. I think it will be. And I hope to help you go into this knowing what you need to do your best in the course. So first off, it says welcome and syllabus. So I'm just going to open this. You're going to see that any documents I've created, which include all of your syllabus materials, as well as your lecture study guides and the lab study guides, are all housed in Google Drive. So what this means is you just click the link and it opens for you. I strongly suggest that you save and or print this syllabus because this is my contract with you. So what you're going to do is always make a copy. So I have students asking me if they can be editors on this document. You can't be an editor because then it would change it for everyone. So just make a copy and download it and then name it appropriately. Probably the most important thing in this syllabus, and I'm just going to scroll ahead, is this right here. This is the course schedule, tells you what we're doing each week and what is due. So it can be dizzying in an online class to remember everything that you need to do. So much like you're out there doing this work, I'll be, waiting for assignments to come in. So I will print out this course schedule. I'll have it here in my home office, and I will check off when the due date has been completed so I can grade your work and release it, and so you have it. So it is super helpful for you to have these dates right in front of you. Now, I think sometimes what people are doing is they're just kind of crashing through a course and trying to do assignments without rhyme or reason. So hopefully you're the type of person that realizes that it helps to know exactly what you need to do and when the due dates are. So there you go. So this is a multi-page document, but it has everything that's due. So you know what? When you're done with it, you can highlight it if you have it as an electronic copy, or you check it off. Okay, and you may use other, apps and things on out there to help you track your assignments. So let's just go back to the top. So of course there's my name, my email, my office number. I wouldn't call my office number over the summer, but hey, you're going to be emailing me, send me a Google chat, and if you want to schedule a time to either meet virtually or on campus, hey, we'll set that up, okay? So a little bit in the summer, there's some flexibility with meeting your needs a little better than the school year because, I'm not teaching face-to-face, multiple hours a day. So, of course, this is completely online, asynchronous. You don't have to come in for any exams or anything like that. The course learning outcomes. So this is used so that I can certainly lay out the course to make sure that I'm meeting the requirements for SUNY. We are going to use the McGraw-Hill Connect book by Mader and Wendelspect. It is already housed in our course, and it's covered by the Barron's book bundle. So that essentially is a cost per credit hour that's already paid as part of your tuition. And it's integrated with our course. So I would strongly suggest that you don't opt out of it because it might slow you down. Now, if you're really savvy and you're going to open up this course on the first day of preview, which is Wednesday, and you're going to go, hey, I can get this and I know what I need to get, and you've done this before and you save yourself $25, cool. But please know that the first day of the course, you need to have all access to all materials because it's a 5-week course. We don't slow down because something was hung up, either getting your code or, ordered from a vendor who's not reputable and those kinds of things. So if you don't opt out of the Barron Book Bundle, then you'll be all set, okay? There's numerous paragraphs here about technical and computer information. And the Respondus Lockdown Browser. So we use the Lockdown Browser for the 5 lecture exams. There's no final, but the 5 lecture exams will be timed and you will have the Respondus Lockdown Browser. So there's a number of caveats here that you want to read to make sure that your device is going to work with Respondus. I will be putting in a practice quiz so that you can just, launch it and use it for practice before the real deal. If you are a STEM Academy student, your school issued laptop can have Respondus, it may not. So if it doesn't, then that's a whole nother thing. You've got to get that installed. But certainly there are other ways to get help. So again, read the syllabus. If you have any trouble with McGraw-Hill Connect, here is the link. Okay, so listen, we have 30 virtual labs. Some of these labs will take you no more than 5 minutes, okay? So don't get completely stressed out. If you don't remember to do a virtual lab, it's literally worth just like 3 points, okay? So because of the quick nature of this course, unless you have an extenuating documented circumstance, then I'm not going to be reopening missed assignments. So that just tells you I need to make sure to sit down and get my labs done. And to help you with your labs, I have put together lab study guides so that you can take notes while you're doing your lab so you know what you need to know for the lab practical. So yes, I did my homework this morning and I printed out my own documents so that I have them right here to make sure that I'm always writing my exams that follow along what I've said you need to know. Okay. Okay, for the first 4 weeks of the class, you're going to see that the assignments are pretty predictable. So up here at the top line, lecture reading assignment. So essentially, I have assigned a reading assignment to you that has the chapter that we're covering. And then you will have a study guide. Other documents. This study guide is going to help you focus while you're reading, and you should be answering the questions on the study guide. Okay? That way, your recording is your part of your notes, what you need to know from those chapters. The questions on the study guide go right along with the chapter because I used the book to go right along as I was making those study guides. So that's A. And B, if something is not covered on the study guide, then that's not something you need to know from the textbook. Okay? So the reading assignment is set out so that you can do your study guide with the reading assignment. Of course, it's electronic, but it's very helpful to be able to use that smart book. Okay, so these study guides are due on Thursdays, and that is the first week of the class on Thursday. So July 16th, you will have a study guide due for chapters 1, 3, and 4. You see July 23rd, that essentially is study guide 2, and then 3, and then 4, and the last study guide is due August 13th. Virtual labs are going to be due on Mondays, okay? So if it were me, the course opens on Monday. Monday is the due date. Of course, you can get it done anytime before. Hooray! So you can see those dates, Monday, July 20, 27, and then August 3, 10, and 17. Okay, exams are on Tuesdays. So essentially my thinking is you've completed the study guide, you completed the virtual labs, you have your study guides completed. The lecture study guide got turned in, and I will give you feedback on that if anything's missing. The lab study guide you don't turn in, but you'll have that at your fingertips so that you have all the information you need for the lab practicals. So essentially, you've completed the week's material, and now you're ready for the exam. The exam is going to cover 1 week of the course. So exam 1 covers week 1, exam 2, week 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 5. Exam 5 is going to cover week 5. So not too bad. You're going to see there's going to be one exception here. Exam 5 would fall on a Tuesday, but the class is ended. So our class ends Monday, August 17th. So that's the last day to take exam 5. Okay, then we have lab practicals. I spaced them out so you don't have a lab practical every week, but instead you'll have lab practical 1, which I think is week 1 and 2, lab practical 2, which is week 3, and lab practical 3, which is week 4 and 5. And that's in the course schedule. So notice again, lab practical will be due that last day of our summer class together, which is Monday, August 17th. Okay. So my statement about late or missed assignments. So your lecture study guides, told you a little bit about that. I will be posting lecture videos. I don't plan to do like an hour or 2 or 3 video over one chapter. Instead, I want to hit the highlights of what might be difficult or what might be the most interesting thing, just to kind of get you like thinking like a biologist and getting super excited about human biology. Okay, virtual labs, withdrawal policy. If a student never does any work in the class, then I drop them late next week. And if you decide this class is not for you, it's a really good idea to drop before Sunday, August 2nd, so you don't have that, so you have a W on your transcript instead of maybe the grade that you're earning, which is often failing for students who want to drop a class. Okay, I will be quick about posting grades in Brightspace, but you see any issues, please let me know. We got the CCC Basic Needs Statement, and here we have the assignments you're doing in class. So 5 study guides, 5 lecture exams, 3 lab practicals, and as I mentioned, 30 virtual labs, 3 points each. All the labs are virtual labs, so there's no extra stuff to be done. Over here, you're going to see point values. Where you end up in your point value will give you your letter grade. If at any point I've dropped an assignment for some reason, then we'll just have to go by the percentages. So 93% of the total points possible is an A, 90 to 92 is A minus, and so on and so forth. Okay, so back down here, and this was your course schedule. Super important to follow along. All right, so let's go back here to our actual course. So it should be that the first time that you try to access the textbook, that it pops up, which is super helpful. So that would be here in McGraw-Hill Connect. You should not have to go into Barnes & Noble and get the textbook access code, but if you do, there it is. All right, so what we have over here are 5 weekly learning modules, and I put the dates here. Essentially, they are corresponding, should be Monday to Sunday. Let me just check my calendar. Yes, Monday to Sunday, just to kind of give us some dates. Always look in the next week's folder if you're looking for a lab practical. Since it's not due until a Tuesday, then it's probably going to fall in the next week. So let's just take a quick look here at one of the week's folders. So this is up at the top, week 1. So this is our first week together, 3 chapters, 1, 3, and 4. And so here's the study guide. Again, it is a Google Doc. So when you open it, you're just going to save a copy for yourself and organize that in your own Google Drive. And then what we see here are the readings. So you're going to have your study guide and have the readings. There's a lot of really great research saying that handwriting your notes is a way better way to learn than typing your notes. So please consider that when you're doing your study guide. And of course, you can take pictures or you can use DocuScan or one of those kinds of things to merge your study guide into one document so you can submit it for grading when it's due on Thursdays. Okay, so then we get down to the lab. Here's a lab study guide. Again, make a copy for yourself. The tutorial, you don't have to do it. It's not worth any points, but it kind of gets you through like the basics so that you don't get too hung up on the virtual labs, which are quite good. I think you'll enjoy them. They're pretty fun. I find the problem is that you don't know what you need to know. So that's why there's the lab study guide, which is always at the top of the lab module. So you've got that, and as you're working on those labs, then you're going to document what you need to know, and that's on the lab study guide. Okay, so you will have a week 1 exam, and because week 1 exam is going to fall during week 2, then you're going to see it right up here. I need to write your first exam, but it will be here. When I finish any intro lectures, they'll always be at the top of the lecture folder. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. Always reach out with your questions. You're not in this alone. A quick email, Google Chat, whatever will get you on track. If you find that you're slipping behind, you can always drop the course. Try again in the future. Just kind of be aware that dropping sooner rather than later is a better idea. But anyway, always reach out. Nice to meet you guys.